Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Zeke from last week: 14 carries, 102 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Winston now to throw on first down. Fells has it, left side.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
On 3rd down, Winston finding Fells complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. 25. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Moore, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running back.
Looking for his tight end, fouls, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much a margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and now it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on. Check it.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
And that's a major league loss of yardage and probably loss of momentum. You're snapping the ball at the 1-yard line before you suffer that big loss.
Yeah, you think of losing any yardage from the 1 is bad. To go that far back, that's a disaster.
And I think the play calling sequence that maybe the OC had in his head, that's got to change on the fly now.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Ready, black 25.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, and they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Caught right side, Tate. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Really nice pickup on first down. Leaves them with 2nd and short. And you figure, let's go ahead and run it again. But, boy, that outcome leaves you in a difficult 3rd down, doesn't it?
Didn't stand a chance from the start. You can tell they were going in the wrong direction. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield. And as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they are backed up as far as you can go as they'll start this drive on their own 1-yard line.
And whenever I see the Cowboys backed up on their own 1-yard line, I think of one thing. Tony Dorsett at the old Metrodome playing against the Vikings when he got away with a 99-yard touchdown run and did it with only 10 guys on the field on offense for the Cowboys. So in this situation, I highly suggest they bring the 11th guy out to aid their cause. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A handoff to Barkley. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play here for Dallas. And even 50 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Second down, Haskins. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Saquon Barkley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop. And now out comes Minnesota. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You've got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Second down, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno, second quarter. They need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. Now it's Haskins. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27th. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On second down, here's Haskins. He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 35. Cowboys. DJ Moore with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late in the half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we reach half due to time constraints. We move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Play action. Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
57's a mark. 57's a mark. Hey, defense, let's go.
Haskins on 3rd down. That is caught. It's Perriman. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Let's go, defense.
Another try for Barkley. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down now, it's Elliott. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They'll go to Barkley again. They'll have a first down past the 40. 16 yards, a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
What's tight? Tight is right. Hey. 4 down.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop his shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turn him loose.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now Haskins on first down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a give to Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Exit. Mike, go. He's crashing.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. A lot of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the red zone now, Haskins on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They'll try with McKinnon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys add on. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
"34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Cowboys. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
Share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Again, it's Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. Trying to lay one up deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's Ryan Allen now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. "35 yards that time on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Winston from the gun on third down. Open man, the tight end falls. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Jameis to throw it. He completes it to Tate. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Three bucks.
A first down throw for Winston. That one complete, Elliott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it second and goal.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They'll start out on the ground as Saquon Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On first down now, run with McKinnon. And some room to run now. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity.